Newbee, turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Epicenter. You are on stream 2, which quite clearly is the superior stream.
It is the best stream.
Where we have the better games and the better casters.
And you get to hear us clearing our throat before we change our overlays.
Yep.
And
we're doing the production ourselves here. We've actually got a fantastic... I mean, this is pretty good. For a B stream, you've seen B streams in some dodgy places. What was the Shanghai Major B stream like? Do we even have a B stream?
Well, I wasn't invited, so I really don't know.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to help you out on that.
I would have said sorry, but you should be apologizing to me, really, for going.
Yeah, it was almost good.
I'm sorry.
It was almost good for my career that I didn't go, that's for sure.
But anyway, this is another level. I'm sure you've seen all the stuff anyway about all the players and everyone's saying how amazing this is. And we are here, Epicenter, $500,000 LAN here in Moscow. I'm ODPixel, this is Purge. This is, of course, the stream that you're going to be able to catch the Complexity versus Newbee game. Best of 3. This is the wildcards. It's pretty big. I mean, to come this far, travel the world, and to not make it past day 1 would be a bit of a bummer. So the teams are going to be playing their best.
Especially because a lot of these guys got qualified for the upcoming Manila Major, especially Newbee, looking to be one of the best Chinese teams. They lost 0 games in the qualifiers. We should hop into the draft, by the way.
We'll
you can hear those sounds. You're being tempted.
Here we go.
Surprisingly, Alp still picked Earth, and he got nerfed. So the nerfs to him were potentially huge, but potentially not huge is the question. The biggest thing is that his illusions don't trigger Greevil's Greed. So when you go
quite a nerf, isn't it?
Kind of. It's a nerf when you get Radiance and Manta.
Well, that's like I can still see as an alchemist, you're going to be still ahead of the game,
easily,
but you're not going to be like 100,000 net worth ahead.
It's just your split push isn't going to net you a ridiculous amount of gold. Your split push is just going to net you normal gold for everybody else. So that's where I don't like. Everybody says it's massive. I wasn't 100% sold on it, and thinking about it now, it's like the only way that doesn't matter, the only way that it matters is if you have a Manta style and a Radiance, which is already very deep into the game, right? Like it's still split push. It's just not accelerating you as much as it does other people. But your hero farming, you're still farming very rapidly. Like, you're still farming really rapidly with your main hero. You're still getting Greevil's Greed bonus. So, it's... I guess...
It's still strong.
You'll have to be careful when you Manta split and last hit the same creep, though, because if your illusions get the last hit, you don't get the bonus gold. Is probably the only other thing.
That's
just what play around that. So you have to be a little careful. You actually have to last hit. That's the only time you probably ever had to last hit against yourself in the history of Dota 2, actually.
Like, don't touch an illusion.
No illusions.
We need that Greevil's gold. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be interesting to see how it plays, and if indeed it is strong enough. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not seeing any team first pick the out. I mean, I was obviously casting the EU region. Are there the regions they do like this is the thing, first picking it?
I think NA was playing Alk a little bit more, yes.
And they would pick it straight up.
Not entirely sure. I don't, because obviously coL was invited, so we didn't get to see them drafting or not. That's the other thing that a lot of these Newbee played all the way through their qualifiers. Complexity got the invite before they even started. So, and I can't wait to watch a lot of these games. This is going to be a mini Manila preview, basically, for a lot of these teams.
Really is.
If you guys don't know how the wildcards are working out, by the way, there's 4 teams that are in the wildcards. That's what we're watching today, mostly. Only 2 of those teams are going to make it through to play against the invited teams, which is teams like EG, Liquid, Secret. So of our wild cards, we have Complexity, Newbee, Fnatic, and No Diggity, the team that did not qualify for Manila. So of those 4 teams in the wild card, all 3 of them are going, right?
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah, Fnatic,
No Diggity,
Complexity, Newbee straight in.
Because Fnatic are so it's just no Diggity, I believe.
That's correct.
So what's the one team that got invited that isn't actually playing?
What here?
Or that isn't playing Manila?
Well, that isn't playing.
Let me pull it up quick here.
VP.
Yes, you're right. It's VP. VP was the
because I believe, obviously a lot of people looking at VP it's going to be a tough tournament for them with their new lineup. I believe they were invited when they were the old roster.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously there's been changes, but they still kept them in, and I believe this is kind of funded by the VP project. So they're going to be here. We're going to have VP.
And it's kind of upsetting. Like I really liked VP as a team, like their last TI roster, and even they had like it was a very small roster swap. Didn't they swap out like 1 player? They dropped Lil and they picked up a new one, I believe, or was it 2? I can't remember, but
they've now got no fear in Yoku.
Their team's a little bit more disappointing, unfortunately.
It hasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. These are qualifiers. Okay, this is the wrong epicenter.
Wrong epicenter.
I'm looking at the European qualifier.
We're at the main event, baby.
I want the LAN. Where the LAN is? Yeah. So, invited teams: Alliance, EG, OG, Liquid, Secret, and VP. And our wildcard teams are No Diggity, Complexity, Newbee, and Fnatic. So it's basically a double elim wildcard bracket here is what's going to happen with whoever wins loser bracket gets invited, whoever wins winner bracket.
2 getting through.
So
two getting through. Into tough groups as well. One goes forward to join OG Alliance Team Liquid, and the other goes to join EG, VP, and Team Secret. I'll be honest, which group would you rather be going into here? What do you say?
I think Group B is scarier, EG Secret. I just don't have. I think OG and Alliance are good, but I don't see them as dangerous as
they haven't really
EG
proven themselves recently, OG and Alliance.
Yeah, I think they're definitely very good. They could swing into a tier 1 team easily. I have a little bit more faith in EG, a little bit less in Secret, but I think Liquid EG will probably be, but maybe even EG will fail a little bit. Who knows? Can't wait to see everybody play though, because it's a lot of great teams in the tournament. All right.
Yeah, there's a penalty of a lot of really good clashes.
Now that we've introed our whole tournament,
we have, and we're here.
Coughing, we can talk about the draft.
I mean, there's kind of a reason why we're kind of been talking over. The first 5 picks are nothing crazy. I think the craziest thing is the fact that Beastmaster was left in the pool until this point,
and the fact that Bane, I think, was picked in first round. But some teams do prioritize Bane in first round. This isn't super uncommon. The Ad Finum team was actually drafting Bane a lot during the qualifiers, so nothing too weird there. I think it was Ad Finum. Maybe I'm thinking of... Ad Finum,
Sin's team loved it. Like Sin.
Oh yeah, Sin's team also drafted
Bane.
it as well.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
The other picks are pretty standard. There was a patch a couple days ago, by the way. Doom's level 1 Infernal Blade got nerfed. It does
how does it change?
Quite a bit.
Damage.
It used to deal 40 damage a second for 4 seconds at level 1 with the percentage of HP added on top. Now it does 25 per second at level 1.
This is quite a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference. It's 160 damage magic versus 100 magic. So that's a massive change, level 1. It's still going to do a lot of damage. Level 1 for 40 mana, you're doing that plus 1.25 percentage of the total HP, which gives you a total of it's like 6.25, I believe. So 6.25 of a 600 HP hero is like an extra 40, 50 HP. So
it's still a good spell. I mean, the thing before it was just like a stupidly good spell. Now it's just a good spell.
It went from like 200-ish magic damage down to like 150, 160, somewhere in there is probably what it does. Still a really good skill. We're still probably going to see teams go 144 build, just because it transitions Doom well into the mid game for fighting. But honestly, no weird picks here. The A ban is maybe the only one that you're confused on. That's because it's good against Alk.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Yeah. I believe I saw one game in which I can't remember which team it was, but they did play A against Alk and it did absolutely destroy it. It was almost disgusting how hard it just countered the Alchemist. But there's a lot of games where we're seeing outpicked, and I guess just because of AA's other weaknesses, a lot of the time teams don't feel that counter is justifiable enough to pick the AA still. Yeah,
exactly. I like AA a lot as a hero, but there's a lot of aggressive run you down kind of heroes that are being played right now, and you can't really pick AA against those. Cold Feet did get buffed, but I think it's going to be a bit of time maybe until AA makes his way back into the game, other than a counter against Alchemist. Because he is such a good counter. You can't regen. It's really good against Armlet. That's actually maybe one thing that makes AA kind of cool, that every time Armlet gets buffed, AA becomes better.
It really does.
Like that's such a cool interaction.
I mean, there was that. So they did touch Armlet up again, didn't they, in the recent patch? Only slightly again. Whereas now down to 4. Yeah.
So it gives a total of 9 armor when it's on versus the previous 10, and when it's off, it gives 5. So
yes, that's right.
Barely worse, but definitely a little bit worse. Slardar picked up in the second round. This is the hero that was like the most contested for the C region, especially in the C regional finals that I was casting. Slardar was always picked up in the first 2. A little bit later here, but I still think Slardar is a very fantastic hero. It's kind of cool to see him get less popular as the patch started, but then now he's more popular again. Just gives you those minus armor.
That's very good with Alchemist, isn't it? If the Alchemist starts to turn up to fights.
They have great minus armor with amp damage and Alchemist, and this is what makes me a little uncomfortable about this Lone Druid pick, is that Slardar is kind of a really good Lone Druid solution due to making sure that pretty much at all stages of the game you can kill his bear, whereas normally when you play Lone Druid, you don't really have to worry about that until like 40 minutes in a lot of cases, unless they just have the perfect single target carries. But with Alk, acid spray, and amplify damage, people are going to die really fast.
I mean, that's the thing, actually. Talking about single target, Complexity have a lot of single target. They don't really have a lot of team fight. Do you feel that they might pick something here to complement that with the last pick, or is that just not what they're going for?
Yeah, you're sort of right. They don't have a lot of AoE disables, but they do have Roar Fiend's Grip, Slardar, Stun.
Yeah, they find one person, he's dead.
Yeah, that guy's going to blow up, and they're more mobile as well, and they're likely to be the ones initiating. Slardar's fast, Blink Dagger, Alchemist is going to be pretty tanky, whereas Newbee's a little reliant on getting the Doom off on the right heroes, and there's kind of a lot of heroes to deal with. And plus, with them grabbing 2 semi-tanky frontliners with Doom and Lone Druid, I see those heroes as kind of getting shredded by Slardar and Acid Spray. So I'm liking the Complexity draft better here for sure, but Newbee's a stronger early game easily.
Yeah,
Lion roaming, Sunstrike, Doom roaming, that's way more effective than Complexity, who's mostly waiting for 6, their Starter to get Blink, and their Alchemist to get farmed.
And the thing is as well, the question is, after what, like a 22-game win streak, are Complexity going to be the team that stops Newbee in their tracks?
That's actually a great question.
Like such a long streak. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And,
I mean,
and that's playing like most of the best teams in China as well. That's
it was
incredible.
it wasn't arguably an easy qualifiers. Right up through taking up E home in the finals. It's it was a big run, but they made it look easy. Newbee.
Yeah.
There was maybe a few games where it looked a little close, and they're going to finish with this. This is something they were running quite a lot of times before, getting, I believe it's Kaka on the support Phoenix.
I love the Phoenix pick here. It covers a lot of the issues that Slardar kind of provides, which is basically focusing down one tanky hero. Phoenix Sunray is amazing against not only tanky heroes of your opponents, but also your allies. So now when they go on somebody with Doom or Lone Druid, you throw Sunray on top of that. It's not just healing your allies, but it's also doing damage to your opponents. That double combo makes it so useful. Now they do have a lot of stuns, and there's Beastmaster on the enemy team to provide an attack speed aura, so it could go both ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be to see what they pick up as well here. I mean, they're looking for what still that second support. I mean, surely some kind of range support would be nice. I mean something even like, does a Vengeful Spirit fall into the draft here potentially?
Vengeful Spirit would be pretty good. More minus armor, that part's solid. Your team fight is still a bit weak, but you would have the Venge. I am pretty surprised about that.
I mean, the Oracle out combo was very, very nice. Any fight, you are not, False Promise and Chemical Rage, you're going to live.
Okay, that's a really good point. So
that's
he's,
really nice.
No matter what, going to be fine, but he still can be doomed, which would provide him some right-click, but it's still going to limit him a little bit in terms of what he can do offensively.
Very good base attack time for taking down the egg.
Yes, that's true. He's going to clear the egg real easy. And also, if they... your second skill, what's it called? Fate's Edict. The one that makes you magic immune. That part can be nice. Overall good nukes. They can purge off hexes with your first skill. That part's actually really good. Something that you almost never think about. For
I guess,
being useful.
Oracle's good against Doom as well, isn't it? Doom target, you can save him, heal him up, allow him to walk out the fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can counteract the damage that Doom does with your own heal. So, well, with that said, though, I think Oracle's kind of a crap hero, and that's basically how everybody's discussion about Oracles have been ending, sentence-wise, for the last couple weeks, is that Oracle just isn't that great of a hero. So maybe, one other cool setup that they'll have with Bane and Oracle, though, is that you can sleep, do a full channel of Fortune's End with them not moving. That part's actually kind of cool, because normally you don't get the full channel of Fortune's End doing the 2.5 second of disable, but now you do have that. Normally you only get like a second or something like that, but guaranteeing a 2.5 second immobilize means a lot of damage output and a hero not moving. So it's just going to come down to the Bane to set those up in the early game. Yeah,
I'm just going to switch back to us beautiful people, as I just changed some of the settings, so don't worry. By the way, do let us know. We will be checking. We're hopefully going to get the audio levels correct. We want to make sure we do. But of course, we're kind of doing it on our own here on the stream too. So
yes,
if there's any glaring issues,
and we're the first people. We're the first people casting.
We are.
So
we're the test. We're the guinea pigs.
We have solved quite a few. Owen has solved quite a few problems.
We're
already
sorted
this
out.
morning,
We did.
We're good to go.
We have in game, so hopefully people in game as well should be hearing us. If you're not watching in game, go and get yourself a ticket. I don't know if you have to pay for it. If you do, pay for it. I'm sure it's an absolute bargain. As you actually is a bit of a bargain, because as you're saying, this is probably the best LAN to go in game for because of the caliber of teams and players that we've got.
Yep, it's really good. Other than like a major or TIs or something like that, it's definitely pretty cool. So pretty standard picks for Newbee, really. Offlane Doom is something they've been doing a lot with KP here. Dual support Phoenix and Lion. It's quite good at ganking this combo if they get like level 2 or something, or even level 3 on both supports. The threat, especially against an Alchemist, made it really good. A lot of magic damage, decent right clicks. Love rice clicks, dude.
Rice
They're
clicks?
the best.
What?
Well, I tried to say right clicks and I said rice instead for some reason. I don't know why. How in the safe lane is going to be playing Lone Druid, which is quite survivable. Lately, mostly Lone Druids have been played off lane, but I kind of like the safe lane version, because then you can kind of 4-man with the other 4 heroes, and then if their opponents ditch the safe lane, then the Lone Druid will take an easy tower. And he's quite survivable to getting ganked. So if you get to level 6 and turn into bear mode, then you usually will have enough time for your supports to TP and support you in that gank or in that dive. So I do like the Newbee draft a lot here. I think it's very solid, and all their lanes are great. And I'm still hoping to see that Oracle does good things this game, but I'm not going to hold my breath too hard.
Yeah, I mean, complexity, they must have a plan, you know, picking it up last. I'm sure they themselves are going to feel very confident going into this one. And I think, as you said, yeah, Newbee's draft has a lot of strength, but I think kind of early on in the draft as well, you were saying there's definitely kind of upsides for complexities, and you still feel that after the draft's complete, there's definitely things that they can work with here.
Yeah, there are. The other good thing is that Oracle is really low base attack time for a ranged hero, so it'll be good against Egg as well. They don't have that many ranged heroes this game, so that will definitely be a bit of an issue. But if they can get the Alchemist to a good position farm-wise, he's going to crush this game, considering he's got amp damage from Slardar. He's going to have attack speed from Beastmaster, and Oracle's going to be able to keep him alive generally. So I really do see the Alch doing a lot, but with the supports that Newbee has and the Invoker, I feel like they're going to be able to create a lot of pressure on the map. Complexity's going to have to do the same thing to offset that.
I mean, I guess that's the thing at the start. I mean, we can see already in the mid lane matchup, Z-Freak's going to be hanging around with Chessie just to make sure that he gets a good start against Moo. I mean, when can we start to expect to see like the Lion and the Phoenix come over to mid, or are they going to be needed on these side lanes at the beginning?
They'll rotate over later. It looks like Phoenix is going to start helping the Doom in the off lane, which is I actually like this because Doom can actually win some 1v1s here, so it'll help when getting the Doom a few levels. He'll be all right versus Slardar Oracle, and then later when Phoenix gets like level 2, he could like smoke gank with the Lion to go for top rune, for example, to meet wherever Alchemist is going to go. That's probably the best thing that they can do. Moo here is ready to eat the Dire Observer Ward, but he hasn't been able to cross the river just yet here since the Bane is in the area. And in the offlane, Phoenix is going to mess up the pull, while in the meantime, KP is going to be fighting for last hits and getting as many levels as possible.
It's going to be interesting to see how well Moo can do indeed here. As you said already, receiving a lot of pressure from this Bane and out combination. We can see 6 for 2 against the 2 for 0. It's only going to be quite a painful start for Moon. You need to be careful as well.
Yeah.
Never touching a brain sap could put him right on the at the brink of surviving here. It's a very tricky lane for this invoker.
He still hasn't gotten a chance to eat the Observer Ward. He doesn't want to kill with his Forge Spirit because he wants to tango it, because you get a double tango out of it. Oh, he's going to 1-1-1 build. We haven't seen this in a bit out of Invokers. He's going to eat it now as soon as his tango ends here. And there we go. Observer Ward's finally gone, so really good vision now for Newbee. Not very good vision for Complexity. The only ward that they have is really going to spot support rotations a bit, so it'll be a bit tough there for the Dire team.
Oh, well, one of the lanes that we've not really talked about this, the bottom lane then. So Swindle's obviously on his own on the Beastmaster, a very strong off-lane hero. Having to deal up with a Lone Druid and occasionally the Lion coming down in and out. Chuan, he's just gone to grab himself an Illusion Rune. I mean, do you expect Swindles to find quite a bit down here? I mean, is there even the potential to kind of play around the line and maybe try and take Chuan down if Chuan overextends?
It's definitely possible, especially because Lone Druid has 2 units right-clicking, so his physical damage and his movement speed is pretty good in the laning stage. Not to mention that he's been able to pick up an Orb of Venom very rapidly. It's on his range here right now just for the harass damage, but that's kind of a cool way to do it. Like you get more slow if it's on a bear or a melee unit, but if you have it on the range here, it's just good for harass, considering it's 275 and it does 12 damage. That's actually pretty amazing when you compare that with like a Blade of Attack, which is 9 damage for 450 gold. So he's basically buying that item to try to keep Swindle's HP low so that it forces him to be more zoned and get less levels, which is not working. Swindles is going to be forced on the jungle, but as we've seen a lot in the regional qualifiers, you can farm very rapidly on Beastmaster.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot better when you have Iron Talon and level 3 kind of a thing, and so he's a little bit behind what he normally would be at, but he's going to be just fine here, and Chuan's going to be able to get some levels from this as a result.
Yeah, well, we can see now in the mid lane, the Bane, he's backed off. Actually, Z-Freak's gone up towards the top lane. We might see if they can try and set something up here. KP coming around. He's dropping the blade onto Hanskin. And he's going to follow through. Z-Freak now revealing himself. Limp coming in, gets the crush up onto Karka. They'll follow up the Fortune's End hold, but he's going to be able to get himself out with the Icarus dive. They'll turn their attention towards KP, but with the Scorched Earth, this man should be able to walk himself out. And just a little bit too tanky for the side of Complexity to really take down. And the Phoenix just a little bit too elusive there with the dive.
Yeah, the only way that works is if they Bane Nightmare him as he starts his dive. Then they get a kill. But it's pretty tough to time that. Bane's cast animations are pretty long, and Z-Freak was casting it, but it's very difficult. You basically have to guess on when to cast it on Nightmare. So don't get it. Phoenix is level 3 now, Doom level 3 as well, so they're kind of splitting experience evenly, but overall this is actually quite good for Phoenix. In a lot of Phoenix games you get under level in the laning stage, so we'll do some damage to KP here. He should be just fine though. Worst case, Phoenix dives back and starts Sun Rain. Does a little differently actually. He's gonna Ray from the... Oh, he actually goes down.
Very nicely done, yeah. The nuke was too much, and yeah, Karka, he tried to get the Ray off, but it was a little bit off point, so the heal wasn't there straight away, and without the Scorched Earth. Yeah.
I think he didn't want to have to dive, but he should have dived right away to get behind the Doom and then started the Sun Ray right away. Oh, they might kill a Phoenix.
Oh,
he does have dive though.
Okay, he's got TP back coming in as well. They got the burst they have with the nuke from Hanskin.
Okay.
Another one for Complexity. Suddenly, this safe lane is, I mean, this is starting beautifully. 4.5 minutes in, and Limp's already involved in 2 of the kills on the Slardar.
Yeah, the Oracle's paying off. Something that a lot of supports don't do is that Oracle applies a lot of burst damage in the laning stage, completely working right now in a lane where you normally wouldn't be able to kill Doom. So I think that's kind of the value here. Doom normally survives just about everything, but as soon as the Scorched Earth is on cooldown, the damage amp that Oracle puts out, and not damage amp, but
Just
the damage he does.
Yeah, well, 160 nuke or so.
Huge.
I see mid lane, yeah, with the cold snap and the sunray. They're going to try and have a go onto Chessie
So
here.
good.
Oh, that tornado from Moo. Oh, he put the fairy fire nearly enough. That's not going to be able to save him. Last one follows through, and just, yeah, as you said, really clean play there from Moo and Kaka. Great kind of awareness of the Phoenix to just come back into that middle lane.
That's such a cool gank too, because Sunray's always doing damage, which means it's proccing the maximum amount of cold snaps. And he's got 3 points in cold snap right now. He's going the Quas Wex build for tornadoes, so every 0.71 seconds they take an extra 21 damage from cold snap for a duration of 4. So that's, you know, like a good 150 extra magic damage sort of a thing, plus the other stuff they're casting. So a big kill on Alchemist there, and it didn't cost them much. They didn't have to rotate line over, so Chuan's going to get more levels more rapidly. It just cost Phoenix going back after a death, and boom, they get a kill mid. Really nicely done.
And looking at the moment as well, that they needed that kill mid, because we saw just with the fact that the Bane Z-Freak was hanging around with Chessie. It was a hard start for me, but he's played it really nicely. The fact that he's really come back into it. And interesting as well, he's going to be getting the infused raindrops out in this Invoker.
Okay, yeah, I kind of like that for the early laning stage. There's actually not that many nukes coming from Complexity.
I guess it's the Oracle, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Alchemist does all physical damage, so you kind of want that item when you're going to be a little static for a while, but also not taking a lot of harass. So by buying that, it's going to guarantee that his mana pool is always pretty full, and every time the Alchemist mid, he could basically just EMP Tornado him. With that said, though, he's not going to be mid for a long time. There's been huge stacks picked up here in the jungle, and actually, this is like the best stack I've ever seen. None of these camps actually spawn minus magic resistance creeps. It doesn't matter for Alk, so it's kind of a moot point, but if this is like a Shadow Fiend or something, he could triple raise this and it would all die. But he's going to get so much gold right now. I'm not looking at his net worth. He's going to be 3,090.
This is really nice as well. Look, Chuan and Kaka, they realize stacks are being taken, but they've actually smoked up. They want to try and make advantage of the fact that Z-Freak's come mid to look for the levels. They know there's going to be no out nearby because he's busy farming and trying for the deny, nearly gets it. Just a little bit early without Z-Freak, but nice attempt nonetheless. And NewBee, they managed to punish that Bane in the mid lane and maybe even try and come in and see if they can spot out the Alchemist here.
They're going to get here just in time, actually. If they can clear this up, it's going to help them massively. This is a pretty big lost Alk. This is like an extra 400, 500 gold. Oh, they did use Earth Spike. They're going to zone them out. Luckily, the sports did rotate over. Good anticipation that this would be happening. This is going to save them some. He's got new skeletons in 1 second.
Yeah, they got Kaka here as well. Managed to catch him out with a Nightmare, just as you were talking about earlier, just to get the timing right near Chris dive, and it was indeed there from Z-Freak. So they punished the rotation from NewBee. I guess on the highlight the fact that they still got the kill on the Bane initially mid, and then they're able to zap a little bit of XP and a little bit of gold thanks to Chuan's spike onto the larger creeps.
Yeah, it was okay for them. Chessie, oh, they're going to get the mid tower though. Chessie has to run back from this one. Really good rotation from NewBee. Everybody rotated for this to guarantee it, even How from the safe lane, which may seem a little weird overall, but it's absolutely worth it here because that's Midas finish for How. He's got an extra 500 gold. Now the map really opens up for NewBee. They're going in though.
Yeah, here we go. Onto Chessie. He's out of mana, out of luck. The control is there. No way this man gets himself out. Really nice go from NewBee again, just when the Chemical Rage wasn't available, so no chance for the Alchemist. And this is the thing as well, I guess these earlier stages, if you can get a nice Tornado EMP, that destroys the Alk, because there's just no chance for him to get that regen off.
And it's the disable time too. The Tornado has 1.4 lift time basically, so it's kind of like a long stun. And with Tranquil Boots online, he just ran at him after the Tornado went down. Tornado into a Hex, and then you have your setup. It's pretty long range, and it's hard for Alk to dodge, and now he keeps getting ganks. So these couple of ganks on Alk have been really helpful. He did accelerate massively from killing that large camp, but now he's only even to Lone Druid. He wants to be farther ahead than this, so going pretty darn good for NewBee right now.
I was going to say, this has got to be the scariest thing, the fact that Howie's doing so well. As you said, you have really good timing on the Midas, and yeah, to be at this point on comparable farm to an Alchemist, that's only ever going to favor the team that hasn't got the Alchemist on.
Yep, and he is farming a more medium camp, so he's doing just fine, but they're going to have the same time Radiance, basically, and that's a really bad thing to have for an Alk, in my opinion, since he's a little bit, he should be more independent normally, and he should farm faster than a Lone Druid does, but he's easily behind. His Armlet is picked up, though, so his farm's going to accelerate definitely faster than the Lone Druid will, and they keep stacking camps. Like, he's doing a great job here. Constantly has camps, and Complexity now is starting to rotate with their other two supports. Bane is 4, Oracle's 5. They're going to set up a Roar kill here on the safe lane. Can they kill How, though? How actually does not have Savage Roar yet, so this would be a perfect time to gank him.
Oh, let's see what
They
we
see
can
him.
do. Yeah.
They've got to wrap around. All right, this is perfect from Bane. Good setup.
How's playing it so safely. Look at this.
But this is why ZP wrapped around. He's going to be able to get the Nightmare off.
This is going to be good setup indeed. The question is, do they have the burst to deal with the man? And they've got the Roar, as you said, but he's already taken off the Nightmare with the Bear. Starts to walk away, and now with the reaction from Moo, How's going to be fine. And they might even get themselves a kill. EMP onto Z-Freak and a Handskin. There'll be the Fate Edict, but it's not going to last but long enough indeed. Moo gets the right click through. They'll find one. Now with the Bear chasing down a second. I mean, just look at that. You know, they go on How. It looks like a perfect opening. Suddenly, the entire team of Newbies there, and they're killing 2 of your own team. It's an immaculate play from Newbee.
Yeah, they got there just in time. Although Complexity wasn't completely on the same page there when they initiated. They did all show up, especially with Slaughter, but they got there a little bit late, and they didn't burst him down in the first 2 seconds. That's how they had to do that game. It was difficult, though. With just Beastmaster, that's not that much damage. Plus, he woke up to sleep almost right away. They had to, like, start that gank off with Oracle spamming spells, and they were all a little out of position. Their burst damage is not the same as what Newbee has.
It really wasn't. And yeah, just Moo's Invoker at this point. I mean, we're looking at the scoreboard. You know, it's been 5 kills. He's been involved in all of them. He's 4-0-1. He's playing a very, very active Invoker. He's now got the drums done as well at this point, just 10 minutes in. It's looking scary. I mean, Complexity have obviously got this Chessie Alchemist that's farming up 1,700 gold. But it's going to be all about the pace of the game. And at the moment, it just really feels that Newbee have just got the real early game momentum going their way.
And I really love this infused raindrop on Invoker. It's so good here. There's not that many nukes on Complexity. They're a little bit weak on damage. It means that for the next like 5 or 6 minutes, it's going to be really hard to burst him.
Look, they've got objective after objective on the mines, and now they're coming into the jungle. They're going to look for Chessie on his Alchemist, and it looks like they're going to find him. They should be able to get this with the wraparound, and Newbee just
the heck.
Perfect pick after perfect pick. This is almost clinical, just how well these guys are doing this early game.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate there for Complexity. They said, okay, there's no way they warded the high ground because that's too obvious, but they did ward the high ground, and that's going to result in them getting a free out kill there. So he didn't see them coming at all. I don't know if they smoked into that one or not. There was an observer ward mid, but I think they approached something like that. I think they did smoke, I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did. That was from a smoke, that one.
But that's a huge kill. Again, they get, how much gold? 297. I'm surprised that's not higher, but that's basically because Alk is ahead, but he's not stupidly ahead this game.
Yeah, and he's not killing anyone either. He just died 3 times and 1 assist.
And Radiant Team actually has a net worth, which is a little surprising considering an Alk usually accelerates you, but they are ahead.
But they're trying to go on How again. Let's see if they get away with this time. But again, the Nightmare toggled off. How continuing to move.
Coming.
Yeah, there should be the saving, and they know this time Complexity. They're not going to overcommit. And meanwhile, in fact, Swindles is taken down by the Phoenix, and just in the mid lane. It's going to be another kill for Newbee. Well, it looks like Moo was around. It looks like, okay, it was the cold snap Sunray.
Okay. I was going to say, it's like solo, that doesn't really make sense. Oh, he casted Wex Orb 10 times in that fight. That's pretty cool. Pretty sick spell casting there. I'll get 2.5 gold now, and the Lindred's at 2.8, so Lindred definitely ahead here, and he's going to accelerate a little bit harder. Hasn't died yet. Alchemist 0-3-1 right now. Definitely a tough game. They've done a great job pressuring him in the jungle.
Yeah, they really have. Each and every time just coming around trying to interrupt, and they've got eyes on Handskin in the mid lane. 3 of them ready to go, and here we're leading in with the cold snap and the Sunray follow-up again. And just look how much chase that brought. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Cold snap, Sunray. You're getting the kill every time at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and even putting the dive in there, just with 1 skill point, it applies a 25% slow. It only does like 40 damage, but that slow plus the Sunray just chase down so many heroes. It's not costing them much to get these gank rotations off, and they're always pretty much ready to team fight with Phoenix in line too. So they're in a great spot. 1,000 gold online, so he's still far away from his blink, but he's got more than he needs right now in terms of levels. So everybody on Newbee is pretty happy.
Absolutely. At this point, they just stay strong in the mid lane. We can see Complexity. They do want to fight. They really, really do. They've got their eyes on this Complexity. We'll see if they're able to come out on top. It's going to be a pretty heavy engagement. There is backup in KP as well. Limp, look at the wrap around the Roar, the Crush, everything's being thrown out of the moon. They'll take down the Invoker, but at the same time, Doom has been dropped onto Chessie, but he did get the Chemical Rage off in time. It looks like the Regen's not going to be enough to keep him in the fight. The Fiend's grip onto Hal, trying to hold him back, but look at the chase down. KP just storming through the fight. Hanskin trying to heal Chessie up. We'll see if he still pops now. The Regen's pulling up, so he gets himself out thanks to that kind of Chemical Rage false promise combo. They should be able to clean up Handskin, so they'll get the kill onto the Oracle. Z-Freak being chased down as well, so they'll find themselves a second.
I think that was worth it. There was a buyback on Invoker. They lost 2 supports but killed the Invoker. Doom's down, so they are going to lose a tier 2, so this is overall good for Newbee though.
Yeah.
So if you look at the gold change, yeah, it's pretty much even, but that tier 2 tower to Newbee, so actually bad for Complexity, but not terrible. They only could lose Roar and the Oracle ulti out of that. I guess they also did Fiend's Grip. They just got to defend this high ground push, and then they should be okay. This is the acid spray. Okay, considering that complexity is behind. I wouldn't feel too bad about that as a complexity fan.
Oh, Chessie, he's come forward. He'll have to rage out, but
man.
look at the burst here, and he's gone. It's not enough regen here with the chemical rage to save the Alchemist, and now Newbee. This is the opening to push up to the high ground, and they just can't afford to lose their Alchemist like this on a high ground defense.
The combo's so good, the Sunray Cold Snap. It's like a permanent stun.
Really
oh, they're gonna have the bear. They got the bear. Is he on cooldown? Okay.
They've got to resummon.
They did kill the bear semi-recently, but it's up again. There's Alacrity now on the bear. It's doing so much damage. Are they going to get a rack?
Just jumping in the rack. There's a raw to move. Limp's trying to come in, but Chuan, he just earth spikes Limp up, holding him back. Limp's still trying to get the nightmare. Like, actually holding him through there. The Fate Edict onto him, and he'll back himself up. And now Newbie, just on the retreat. The bear, oh, he's going to get beat down for second time. So that's pretty big. Bear down for a good 97 seconds.
They got to get a kill here. Slaughter sprinting forward. Will they find a Chuan at least? Chuan actually doesn't have a disable, so this should be a kill. Oh, they don't. Oh, okay, they see him now. They lost vision, they're going to give up. They can take Roche from this. That's probably the best thing they can do at the moment. They lost a lot from that. It was a tier 3 tower at least, so game's not over by any means, but man, these last couple of minutes have been so tough. And Lone Druid's probably got Relic now.
Oh yeah, there's Relic on the bear.
He's almost got Rad.
He's just a few hundred away from Radiance.
He's 400 away. That's really bad for complexity, but at least they'll get the Aegis. Next fight they take will be better, but Alk is so far behind. He needed Radiance like 2 or 3 minutes ago, but Newbee's pressuring so well that it's preventing that from happening. But if he had Radiance in any of these fights, they probably could have won them.
Yeah, absolutely. The next push is going to be absolutely devastating. I mean, we can see over the side on Complexity Swindles. He's still working for his Necro books. He's managed to pick himself up to level 2, so still reasonable timing here for the man. I mean, you know, which is kind of expected on a Beastmaster. Regardless of how a game's going, he's always going to be able to find those key timings. Chessie's got enough money now for the Relic himself, but as you said, the worrying thing is the fact that indeed this this Lone Druid does have, will have the Radiance before the Alchemist.
Yeah, he's been doing more than fine on Swindles. Like, 1 death at this kind of a game has been great.
Yeah.
He's been getting some roars off, hasn't really found a ton of kills with them, but they're doing just fine. Alk now up to 3.4k gold, sells his poor man's shield, so he's trying to get his Relic and Radiance as fast as possible. It's so important that he gets it soon.
I was going to say he's brought the because he did just have the money. He's brought the rest.
Okay.
So he's just 300 away from having, well, 200 away from having the whole thing done.
Chuan's got a blink now as well, 16 minutes, so he's doing great. 1-0-5 on him. Really solid play. They are pushing the top lane though. Tower goes down, so Newbee gets a little bit more map control. Farm as fast as you can. All right, and he actually finished that so rapidly. That's just incredible how fast Alk farms. He was behind. He's still matching what the Lone Druid is doing, despite these team fights going bad, despite getting ganked so many times. Dead 4 times.
Oh, look at this as well. Blinking in. Goodbye, Hansken. He tried to come out in a little bit of a warding adventure. He's going to go down to the Doom. There'll be a Roar dropped onto Tron. They've got the rotation from Chessie with a concoction. They'll find themselves a kill here. The question is, can Newbee try and send it around? Tornado onto 2 of them. Swindles. He's trying to run away. The Savage Roar force will be back as well from how the EMP complex. They can't afford to fight around this. Surely EMP coming through. Limits Chessie out of it. Z-Freak's going to go down there. How managed to make it a 2-for-2. Chessie still trying to make a go onto Moo. He's just turning around, duking it off, but he's going to make it away. They're going to pop the Aegis here on the Alchemist at the same time.
Can they get this kill?
Oh, can they get Moo? Yes, they can. Cheeky little slap from Limp, and they will find himself a big kill onto Invoker KP.
Oh, he wants vision. Oh, he's not going to get it. All right. Really good fight there for Complexity. They actually only lost their 2 supports. Did Elk die as well? Why does it say Elk died?
Oh, okay, I had the Aegis.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like, what's the death symbol? Absolutely amazing fight there for Complexity. The biggest play was easily the Fiend's Grip from Bane. He was on the low ground, Fiend's Grip the Lone Druid, and that guaranteed that the Elk got the kill before he died. If Lone Druid was able to juke or something, it would have completely changed everything. But killing that Lone Druid and then spending Aegis while doing that, absolutely worth it for Elk. Great fight for them. 1,400 gold now, so he can transition into like an armor item maybe.
Newbee aren't happy, but they spoke up straight away, looking to punish the Alchemist. They killed him once with the Aegis, now they kill him a second time. He's got no backup this time. He's dead for 50 seconds, and this man, of course, buyback on cooldown as it was used in one of the early engagements. So Newbee now with a pretty good opening at trying to push into the high ground here. As the Bear Summon will be back online in 10 seconds here for Hao. Yeah,
that was really nice gank setup. Basically, the Elk thought he was safe. He's like, oh, we want to fight. This is great. I can go do stuff. But Newbee was prepped for that. And as soon as they got up, they had smoked around and been ready for that, the mid push. He may have only gone mid and cast the Acid Spray and then left, but that was enough to put him behind.
Yeah, but let's see what Complexity's answer is going to be for this one. 20 seconds without the Alchemist on defense. Using the Fate Edict to try and stop the punches of the Bear, but now he comes back in with the Alacrity, Fortification, Complexity. So on the back of this one, eyeing it up, using the EMP from Moo to try and force the side back.
Going okay for them right now. They're going to lose Necro 3 by the time the fight actually happens. Oh, good. Moo was the one that lasted the neutral, so For the Necro, that is, so. 400 gold given by Swindle, but it's more important to defend. Absolutely worth it, I think. Oh, they actually didn't get the Observer Ward. I think they know it's there, though, because they had the Necro, but the Necro died. So they'll have to sentry this. But again, they defend.
Yeah, it's proving difficult for Noob to come through. Maybe off the back of that, Newbee will look for something else before trying again. I think it's Chuan making the line drawn to wrap around here. Or maybe you're saying be aware that that may be the movement from Complexity, who at the moment are around by the secret shop. Side of Newbee still on the high ground here in the Dire's jungle.
Out, just time to get as much HP as possible. He picks up the booster. He may just be going straight into Heart. Considering there's just a lot of magic and pure damage from Newbee, HP may be the good solution. With that said, though, Sunray does damage based on how much HP you have, so maybe that's a little anti-synergistic, but he definitely does need to be able to survive the burst. The most important thing here. So they're back to defend again.
Absolutely, Newbee. They see an opening, they start to go. As Complexity, they have got to get themselves the hell back. They're already pushing out bottom. They jump in onto the bear. Bear at the moment being healed back up, in fact, through the night. So a very nice here for Al. So he's going to be ready to continue the push. Complexity, whilst their answer this time, just dropping down the acid spray. And it is working. I mean, it is proving hard for Newbee to fully break this high ground. They're certainly wary of the power of Complexity on this high ground defense.
Yeah, the minus armor is still amazing. Acid spray plus the what's it called? Amplified damage. It's just, the Spirit Prayer is just not survivable yet. The Sunray makes a huge difference. If it wasn't for Phoenix on this lineup, the Spirit Prayer would just not be able to ever go high ground. They'd just kill him repeatedly. So Complexity defends again. Blinks up on Sardar. Limp's been playing amazing. 2-0 and 4 on him. And the support's always in a good position to not die. I do like this. They just get infused raindrops on their supports pre-arcanes. It works really nice. Kind of like an arcane substitute that doesn't force you to have to rush that item very fast. Definitely opens up the early game a little bit for a lot of support builds. So they're ready to go. Support's wrapping around the side with smoke. That way if there's any wards there, they won't spot. But it doesn't look like a fight's going to happen here.
We'll see how much of a wraparound they can get. They've still got a little bit of duration on. They're actually going to use the scan, and that's going to spot out.
Oh, it works on the bear, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was one of the things. It also works on illusion scans, so sometimes can give kind of a bit of a false positive if the micro is being used. But
they're not able to find their opponents. The Radiant wards are in the area. They're going to spot at least one mid, I think. They know that they're fighting, that they're top and ready to fight. So Hawks and Boars are walking. Oh, they've got a double Hawk. This is perfect right here. They can actually clear their whole jungle. They're going to see everything. If they can initiate perfectly, this would be so big for Complexity. In the meantime, Chuan's way in the back right now.
And Limpy's going to jump straight in onto KP. Move, run up the Tornado. There'll be the Concoction as well onto the man, but he's already got the Scorch Stuff out, so he's found Chessie now. Hexed up. He's going to have the false promise to keep him alive for the time being. The Doomsday dropped onto his windows. He's going to be the first character to fight.
Dead.
Burst down onto Chessie, and a Hands King gone as well. Wasn't enough to save the Alchemist this time around as Newbee just pounded into the man through the false promise.
Damn.
3 heroes down, and that was not the kind of fight that Complexity were looking for.
Yeah, it was kind of good how Complexity went in, but it just got so bad so fast. There's all those trees in the way, so their initiation wasn't quite focused enough, and the position of Newbee it immediately fixed. As soon as the initiation went in, they put all their supports in the back lane. They protected against that entirely. Easy racks now for Newbee by winning that fight. The Sunray and the Supernova just made all the difference. They weren't able to do enough damage and pick off the core heroes in the initiation. All they did was like waste Tornado. That's not good enough.
This is getting very, very scary now for Complexity. I mean, 17-7 down, missing a mid-brax at 23 minutes in. I mean, I guess in terms of the lineup, you have got the kind of the summons from Beastmaster and the Aux Acid Spray and such to push out, but still for heroes like the Slardar, and of course the supports, there's not really a lot they can do in terms of offering to push out these stronger creeps.
Yeah, it's tough. They at least needed like Manta or something ready on Alchemist in that fight for that fight to go well, because they needed to not run it with the Prime one. They were able to use the ult from Oracle, but they actually did so much damage to him that he just died through it basically.
I mean, I guess that's the thing as well, with the change to illusions.
Yeah.
Do you feel we're going to see builds maybe opt away from building the Manta style, or do you still need it for certain reasons, or would you just not go in that?
You could definitely argue skipping it, because the stats that it gives are okay, but not amazing. It's actually a pretty weak DPS item in a lot of ways. The nicest thing is you make illusions and you go split farm with it and split push with it. But as an item as a whole, it actually only gives you an ultimate orb and an extra 16 agility on top of that. It's actually terrible stats considering what else you could get instead of that. If he's still going to buy it, he just grabbed a Vit booster first. So I think this is justified though, because the split farm is good. The fact that you can armlet ulti and you can Manta and you can spread those in the whole team fight, so you're doing radiance damage everywhere. That alone is going to justify it, I think. But it's definitely a little bit worse than it was before. Not like massively worse, but it's definitely still the build though.
Okay, well, we can see Newbee now smoking up around the mid lane. But we want to try and get the tier 2 from the bottom, open up the base a little bit more from complexity. You can see Swindles trying to get a bit of a push on the top. He's got 1700 on top of the level 3 Necro, so he's still doing fairly well himself. Now, as we can see, the complexity, they've rarely found the opportunity to really push the lanes out. They've only found one tier 1 off the map, whereas, you know, the amount of pressure that Newbee's been applying has been pretty damn brutal as they'll look to take down this tier 2. They will find it, and still just the scary thing is that how, you know, he's neck and neck with this Alchemist farm, if not just a little bit ahead of it as well.
Yeah.
It really is Newbee's game plan working at full strength. And I mean, for complexity to come back into it, they're going to need a lot of time in top lane. Here we go, Swindles gets himself the tower, but this man, pretty much a death man here as they all come in. Newbee not going to take that lightly, losing that top tower, and they'll take the Necro down as well.
Yeah, that was way too dangerous to do. I mean, he was trying to do the split push, but without a blink dagger, it's too easy for them to kill him there. The only way that he doesn't die there is if he TPs like right before Invoker TPs, because then he wouldn't be able to tornado him, but he's not going to be able to react in time, basically. So maybe what he should have done instead is be so far away from the tower. Now, no matter what, like, they could send Lion first and he could do a blink hex, so yeah, that was very dangerous to do. He did get a tower out of it, and that may be worth it, but he also lost 330 gold there. Like, kept the net worth. If there wasn't an Alchemist in this game, for example, I think Newbee would be ahead by like 20k.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just look at
and then that wouldn't matter. But yeah, it's close enough because of the way that Alchemist farms that it's making it look like complexity is closer than they are, for sure. That's one of the big problems with Alchemist, that he really messes up the comeback mechanics that exist in the game because it inflates your net worth. It's kind of similar to Doom in a lot of ways, which may be one of the reasons that Devour is less leveled lately.
Yeah, but I mean, just looking at but the overall difference between the teams, 12k net worth lead for the team that hasn't got the Alchemist. I mean, you know, you're losing if you're that side with the Alchemist. There's no way that you can afford to be that far behind in gold, as you said, when you've got a hero such as the Alch, and it just kind of transpires down to look at the supports. You know, you've got a 2.8k, 1.8k on Z-Freak and Hansken, compared to 8.6k on Karka's Phoenix support, and then 5.7k on Twan's line. I mean, that's massive differences.
With that said, though, Phoenix doesn't get that better right now, at least, with all of that net worth. That's mostly put into a Midas and a plate mail, which
he's nearly got Shivas. He's
barely
very close.
Okay. When he finishes Shivas, it's a different ball game. But all that net worth that Phoenix has right now is not that different than what a Bane and an Oracle can do, with the exception of the fact that Phoenix team fights way better. But the biggest thing about the Midas is that it accelerates Phoenix's levels, which makes his Supernova level up more rapidly. That part's really effective, but it's not going to pay off heavily until later. So all of those net worth differences between the supports, it is a big deal. But in the course of the skill points, I think the more important thing is that Phoenix's big items will come more rapidly as the game continues.
And we'll see if Complexity have an answer for what Newbee have managed to surmount to at the moment, because they're going to come in for this push on the bottom lane, see how heavy they want to try and push in against the Rex, and see what Complexity can do in order to stop it. And actually on the bear, but just holding off at the moment, Newbee. Maybe a little bit tentative about trying to break the base here again for this time.
Chesty's not quite full HP, so he's not super happy about running into this fight. They got great sentry wards to set down, so their opponents don't have vision, but with the Shiva's on Phoenix now, killing the egg is impossible for Complexity now. This basically offsets entirely what Beastmaster does for his aura. Really good item to have on Phoenix.
Let's have a look.
They've got Blink on Beastmaster, this could make the difference. And almost all of them have infused raindrops, giving them this team fight advantage. I like the choice. Can they kill a bear right now? That'd be pretty okay.
I'm for a good shot, but already the heal for the Sunray. Chessie being held back by the tornado. They'll actually, the bear's gone.
Bear one down.
How gets themselves the second bear out.
They did use Alch ulti though, so I'm guessing Newbee will play a little safe until that ends. I guess the timer's not that small. It's 20 second downtime. 30 seconds downtime. It's actually decent. They'll go high now. And now the ultimate's gonna end.
There we go, Hex jumping onto Limb. Chessie coming in with the concoction, throws it out onto KP. KP did get the 2 mounts, but isn't the Supernova in the middle of this. They've got to run, they've got to split Complexity. You can see him being chased as he goes for a Fiend Script, but he's still in range and burns down. So Complexity losing 2 on the defense. They're going to punch Windows as well. He's still hanging around. Twan catches him out with an Earth Spike. It's going to be a 3rd kill for Newbee. 2 heroes down without buyback here, as Newbee will look to clean this one up. Limp jumping in, 3-man stun indeed, but Moo, he's still fine, playing around. Tornado Ice Ball onto Chessie. There's the kite, the control from Twan. He bursted by the brain cell from Z3, but it's not going to be quite enough for Chessie. He's trying to fight his best for it. It's not good enough. He's gone down. Limp gets jumped on as well by KP. And Complexity back to base and Moo. He's not even done. He's trying to find the kill onto Z3, and he might just get it, and he will. Moo.
That's alright. Okay.
It's all too much. I mean, 24-7. GG is called game 1. I mean, I hadn't actually seen any of Newbee. I didn't get the chance to watch any of the games of the qualifiers, so it was casting other reasons. But seeing this today,
Does it make sense now?
They were just playing on a whole other level.
Yeah,
I mean, that was ridiculous.
They're
it
very
really
good.
was.
It's a fantastic draft as well. The only thing that I haven't seen about this kind of a draft before is that they put an Invoker in, and that combo with the Phoenix, it gave them like an extra
coL
2 kills.
Yeah.
It gave them an extra 2 or 3 kills the whole game just because